He heads out of the house in search of food. But after the catastrophe, the outside world has turned into a deserted wasteland. The sun's rays burn in a strange way on the rotten onion-like earth, already full of holes. Due to ultraviolet rays, the surface temperature has crossed over 70 degrees Celsius. Everything that was once alive has already been roasted. Even though he's wearing a special protective suit, the 38-degree heat inside it can still cook him alive at any moment. Within minutes of stepping outside, his equipment starts giving constant warnings. But after taking such a huge risk to step out, turning back is not an option anymore. He sets off on a life-risking journey in search of food. Luckily, there's a supermarket just a little distance away. He orders his robotic dog and starts quickly searching for essential supplies as soon as they enter. By now, he's used to seeing dried-up corpses everywhere, even lightly greeting them as he walks past. He's already searched every corner of the city many times, but every time he looks carefully, he still manages to find some useful things here and there. Finding a few more days of food for Goody feels more satisfying than getting food for himself. When he's sure that nothing is left at the place, he marks the door with a symbol so that he doesn't waste precious time returning there again. He has made such marks at every corner of the city. There's no blank space left on the map now. Finding supplies has become even harder. To survive, Finch will now have to head toward a neighboring, unfamiliar city. But as soon as he takes out his exploration vehicle, the system suddenly warns him. A high-speed, dust-filled storm is approaching from the front. He's forced to turn back immediately. His modified van is huge, not easy to flip over, but if it crashes into an overturned vehicle, it could get ripped to pieces. He knows very well that even a second's delay could cost him his life. This time, luck is on his side, and he returns alive. As soon as he gets home, the first thing he does is clean off the radiation-filled dust from his protective suit. One time, when he forgot to do this, he ended up with cancer. There are no doctors, no medicine, and even though he's a top-level engineer, he's now slowly moving toward death. But despite knowing all this, every time he comes home, he forces a smile to make his only family, Goody, feel like everything is okay. Though they live in a secure home several meters underground, dying Finch still has one important task left to ensure Goody can live in peace. Finch has specially prepared a super chip. He pulls out all the books stored in the basement, cuts them one by one on the table, and then scans the important parts page by page to store them in the computer. This includes not just essential survival skills, but also mostly information related to Goody's care. He does all this so that after he's gone, all this knowledge can be handled by a robot that will take care of Goody for the rest of his life. He even goes so far as to remove Goody's eyes so they can be connected to a new system linked with sensors. He installs the chip and uploads all the data into it. The good thing is, just when he feels everything has failed, the robot responds at the right moment. During testing, even though the robot seems a little dumb, at least it's alive. Excited, Finch immediately programs the robot with the rules of living. The most important of these 4 rules is to correctly understand Finch's absence. He specifically clarifies that Finch not being there doesn't just mean he's not around, it also means he's dead. Although the robot doesn't completely grasp everything, just then, the power system suddenly shuts down. Finch quickly climbs up to the roof for repairs, and that's when the real cause reveals itself. A massive cluster of black clouds stretching thousands of kilometers across the sky, with roaring lightning heading straight toward him. Seeing this, he panics and rushes back down to figure out a solution. In the middle of this crisis, his brain starts working rapidly, but this sudden intensity takes a toll on his already weak body, causing him internal discomfort. When he realizes he doesn't have much time left, he opens a container and quickly takes in some nutrients. Without delay, he gets back to work. The intelligence system analyzes the situation and reports that the cloud cluster will reach their location within the next 24 hours. Once the area is fully consumed by it, it could take months to pass. With sunlight gone, that means no power. And without power, none of the 3 of them will survive. There's only one way left to save Goody. Leave the safe shelter and enter the dangerous outside world, traveling a long distance to a place the storm clouds can't reach, San Francisco. So Finch quickly gives the robot arms and legs, teaches it how to walk, and then spends the night packing all the essential supplies. Then, he, Goody, and the robot set out on a revolutionary journey to escape the deadly storm clouds. The outside world is still extremely dangerous. Even the slightest mistake, and a body could pop like a corn kernel on a hot pan. Behind them, the monstrous cluster of clouds is rapidly approaching. Finch steps on the gas, but still can't outrun the storm. After driving only a short distance, he realizes that the vehicle's speed isn't enough to compete. Now, the only way to survive is to face it head-on. He wants to anchor the van to the ground so it doesn't get blown away. But with the last steel peg in hand, his exhausted body just can't drive it into the ground. In such a critical moment, the robot senses Finch's intention. It sends him back inside the vehicle and stays outside to finish the job on its own. Even though it works fast, the monstrous cloud storm grows even more terrifying. A wave of destruction approaching to consume everything. When the storm hits, it wrecks everything in its path. The van lifts off the ground, and several steel chains snap. But the last chain the robot had secured holds strong, and it's the reason they survive. The good news? They make it through the storm. The bad news? The van's tires are completely blown out. Though the robot manages to find a new tire, the jack used to lift the vehicle was swept away in the storm. The robot, which had seemed naive until now, proves incredibly useful in this moment of crisis. That's when Finch realizes it's time to give this childlike robot a name. They spend from noon till night debating just one thing, the name. When the robot learns the dog's name is Goody, and it calls him Dewey, it becomes even more excited, digging through data to find a name that gives it an identity apart from Finch. Eventually, it finds one, Jeff. But after a night full of effort and exhaustion, the next morning Finch's condition worsens. The pain makes him sweat, but he doesn't want Jeff or Goody to notice. So he quietly pulls out some medicine, closes the door behind him, and heads alone to a nearby motel. Despite a swollen, choking throat, he endures everything until he's out of sight. Only then does he take the medicine with water. Jeff really likes Goody, but Goody is a bit afraid of him. As a guardian, Finch has to mediate this squabble between the kids. But when there's a disagreement, Finch sides with Goody. Seeing this, Jeff feels jealous. Sad and quiet, Jeff returns to the van and tries to think of something new to take his mind off it. That's when an idea strikes. Why not learn to drive? Just like Finch. He climbs into the driver's seat. Jeff's first attempt is not only a failure, it sparks deep frustration in Finch. His time is running out, but this metal framework still hasn't shaped up properly. The thought of leaving Goody in the care of this clueless machine fills him with anger. Finch wants Jeff to understand why he was created, but he forgets that Jeff is just a child born only a day ago. He also forgets that Jeff can think, and that such harsh training might hurt his feelings. Jeff curls up in a corner. He can't understand why his father, the one who created him, is suddenly so angry with him. He also can't understand why, even though he just tried to help, he was still scolded. And he certainly can't understand what he did so wrong that Finch didn't even acknowledge his feelings. When Jeff starts getting scared to come near again, Finch realizes that the mistake was his. He says a lot, maybe even something like an apology, but Jeff stays silent. He stays silent until Finch finally decides to give him an important responsibility. He gets a chance to drive the vehicle, and Jeff forgets all his anger, jumping with joy like a child. His driving might still be bad, but Finch never scolds him again. This delayed wisdom brings them back together. Now this family of four, Finch, Jeff, Goody, and Dewey, sits together watching the northern lights. It's a rare and breathtaking moment on this barren earth. But that very night, Finch feels his life reaching its final turn. He starts telling Jeff important things, especially how to take care of Goody. He speaks with pauses, but every word is only about Goody. Jeff finds it strange that there isn't a single word about their own relationship. When he asks, Finch says nothing. This silence leaves Jeff deep in thought. He wants to go outside, to be alone for a while. Finch allows it, and Jeff sits alone, thinking deeply like a human, until the sun rises. As soon as morning comes, Finch completely breaks down with illness. Seeing Finch writhing in pain, Jeff immediately searches through all available data, but he has neither resources nor any cure. Now the entire family's responsibility falls on Jeff's shoulders. He takes Dewey and heads toward the city, looking for help and supplies. And just like Finch once did, he commands Dewey, "Stay right here, don't move." This is Jeff's first real expedition, and everything he sees excites him. But he gets so engrossed, he loses track of time. Meanwhile, worried and weak, Finch sets out to look for them. As everyone searches for each other, Dewey stumbles upon a treasure, but with only one eye left, he can't see clearly and doesn't notice the trap spread out below him. By the time Finch finds him, Dewey is already broken, reduced to a pile of parts. But in his hand is a baseball, the very ball Finch used to play with Goody the most, the one Dewey always wanted to fetch but never could. Both Finch and Jeff are deeply saddened, but they don't have time to stop. As they move ahead, the headlights of a car turn on behind them. Jeff is surprised. If If these are humans, why are they chasing us? But Finch silently loads his gun and orders Jeff to drive properly. That night, Finch falls unconscious. When he wakes up, the same car is still chasing them. Finch believes the pursuers are dangerous. He says, "Turn off the lights," but the car behind them is faster, way faster. To save themselves, Finch orders Jeff, ram the car into the tunnel, but the tunnel is too low, and the solar panel gets stuck. The vehicle gets jammed. Finch realizes the end is near, but suddenly, Jeff opens the door and runs outside. Jeff's sudden move confuses the pursuing car. It drives past them, missing them entirely. They survive, but they've lost the solar panel. Now, Finch's survival is nearly impossible. After watching and processing everything, Jeff returns to the vehicle and repeats the same question. "Finch, what were you running from?" This time, Finch tells him everything. The real danger isn't the sun. The real danger is mankind itself. After the sun's destruction, a few people survived. One day, while scavenging for supplies, he saw a mother and daughter and hid in fear. As soon as they exited the supermarket, some looters arrived, and to steal their supplies, they killed them both on the spot. Finch couldn't do anything. He just watched, hiding. When it was all over, only one living thing remained, a tiny puppy hidden in the little girl's backpack. Finch realized that if any humans saw it, they'd kill it. That very day, he decided that his life's only purpose was to protect this dog. Hearing this story, Jeff's eyes may appear emotionless, but inside, so much is happening. In that moment, he makes a decision. He will no longer be just a robot. Just then, a butterfly lands on the bed. Jeff stops. Finch is startled by the sight. He reaches out and touches the butterfly and realizes the danger has passed. He can now walk in sunlight without a suit. The blooming flowers and flying butterflies in the bushes are proof. The earth is coming back to life. For the first time in a long while, Finch bathes in the sunlight. He gets ready properly, sets up a tent. It feels like he's on a vacation with Jeff and Goody. And in that peaceful moment, Jeff opens up. He asks a heartfelt, genuine question. And Finch realizes Jeff is no longer just a robot. He can now dream, think, maybe he's no less than a human being. There's peace on Finch's face. Plays with Jeff and Goody. But something bothers Jeff. Every time he throws the ball, why does Goody always bring it back to Finch? Then, a drop of blood falls on Finch's white clothes. He understands his time has come. He doesn't want his family to witness his death, so he quietly walks back to the vehicle. But Jeff stops him. He holds his hand, firmly, refusing to let go. He cannot cry, but it's his way of saying, "I don't want to lose you." In Finch's eyes, love, pain, and peace shimmer together. And in the end, Jeff, Goody, and the glowing northern lights, they spark the hope of a new beginning. After the final farewell, Jeff keeps looking at Finch's back for a long time. Then, exhausted and trembling, he quietly sits alone. On the other side, Finch says his final goodbye to his beloved dog, and with the hope burning in his heart, slowly walks beyond toward heaven. That night, he now understands never waking up means death. The next morning, Jeff's face has lost its playful charm. Maybe Finch didn't want his son to remain sad, so he returns as a butterfly, drawing Jeff's attention toward the distant horizon. He remembers his promise to his father to take care of Goody. After finding his path, Jeff quickly opens the freezer. He didn't know how to use a can opener and is surprised to see Finch had already designed something special for the dog. For the first time, Jeff feeds Goody with his own hands, made possible by Finch's special design. In that loving moment, Goody realizes Jeff is his family now. Now, the promise made under the Golden Gate Bridge becomes Jeff's next destination. Even if he can no longer take photos together, he can bury Finch at that very place and live long enough to fulfill all the unfinished dreams his father never got to see. If you're still watching this video, then I can say with full confidence that there's a tear in your eye. I won't ask you to like the video, but do tell me in the comments which part touched you the most. And yes, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss videos like this.